the birth of the new Prince Cambridge, the new royal baby, third in line to the throne. Those people gathering, they're looking at the easel, they're taking those pictures and having their picture taken beside and recording what is on the royal proclamation. The royal historian, Kate Williams, joins us now outside Buckingham Palace, and we're going to talk about the royal succession. So what does having a new king mean for the royal family? We're going to be talking to you about that after this report from Jason Farrell.
When these two tied the knot in April 2011, it was only a matter of time. The birth of a baby boy means the succession to the throne now has a future line of 3 kings, with Charles, then William, taking the throne first, meaning the Prince of Cambridge could remain a prince for many decades to come.
Think of Prince Charles, who, as it happens, is exactly the same age as me. We were born in 1948. And here am I, age 65, beginning to think about retirement. There's Prince Charles, of the same age, who hasn't yet embarked on the job for which he spent the whole of his adult life doing a kind of apprenticeship.
This is only the second time in royal history that there's been 3 generations of successors alive at the same time as the reigning monarch. Queen Victoria's reign was so long, her son Edward VII had his son, who became George V, and also during her reign, George's son Edward VIII was born. We now have Queen Elizabeth, mother of Prince Charles, who is father of William, now the proud dad of baby Cambridge, meaning Prince Harry has moved down the line of succession to the throne.
This is the birth entry of Her Majesty the Queen.
When it comes to registering the birth of baby Cambridge, like his ancestors, he'll be listed alongside everyone else born on July the 22nd, 2013.
There are actually 4 other children registered on the same page as the Queen, and likewise with Prince Charles. And then in 1969, the format for birth registration changed, and it became a vertical entry with two per page. Again, this is handwritten, and we've got a lady called Melissa, who sits next to Prince William with her birth registration. I don't suppose she even knows that.
According to the National Archives, back in Prince Charles's day, families of children born on the same day as him were given an unusual treat.
But it wasn't a commemorative medal or a nice piece of china. It was a food parcel. And the food parcel would contain things that we might not think are very exotic, like margarine and bacon. But bearing in mind that we still had food rationing then, this would have been very, very welcome to the families concerned.
Constitutionally, the Queen and Parliament had been paving the way for a firstborn girl to have the right to the throne over a younger brother, an historic change that will continue to be pushed through in Commonwealth countries, though perhaps with less urgency. And consider this, as London marks a new royal birth. If he lives as long as the Queen, he could be on the throne in the 22nd century. Jason Farrell, Sky News.
And Kate, it's only by seeing that report you realise that pressure there is on royals to produce children.
That's so right. Really, royals can't choose to be child-free like you or I might choose to be. They have to have children. You can't live in that big house and not have an offspring. So those royals who fail to produce an offspring, in history that's created a massive political crisis. It wouldn't be quite the same at the moment because they reign rather than rule, but still if we were to see William and Kate remain child-free, say out of choice, we'd be rather surprised because then it would go to Harry and his heirs. So we expect an unbroken line. So it's a monarch's big job is to have a child.
Let me ask you this, are you just a little bit disappointed it wasn't a girl?
Oh, I can't say that. I can't say that.
Well, I mean, there they go, they change all the rules and now they can't use them.
Yes, exactly. We go into all that fuss, changing the rules, or the last minute whizzing it through, and in the end, it was business as usual. What it is, it's the royal family, business as usual. A male line of male heirs. We've got Charles, we've got William, we've got this young man, whatever he's going to be called.
Why are you sounding so disappointed at that?
Well,
seriously,
I'm
you do
not
sound
disappointed.
No, you sort of like spat that out.
Oh no,
Yes.
I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed. Obviously, we're all delighted that the Duchess is doing well, and so is the baby. That it's a healthy baby, it's a big baby. But at the same time, I think some of us, we were quite interested in the historical aspect of what this would mean if this was the first
And
girl.
historically, how do men fare? How do they shape up against women?
As monarchs, some of our most favourite monarchs have been the women. So, for example, we're just there by the Queen Victoria Memorial,
Yes.
one of our favourite monarchs, Elizabeth II, Elizabeth I. You know, sometimes I think it's because the female monarchs, no one expects them to be queen, no one wants them to be queen, everyone thinks they're going to be very bad at the job, so they have to fight extra hard to be accepted. So we think of Elizabeth I saying, I've got the body of a weak and feeble woman, but the heart and stomach of a king, just to prove herself.
I was looking forward to Queen Charlotte.
Well, me
Somewhere
too
down
as
the
well,
road,
but
yeah.
you never know.
Yes.
But it's such an unusual situation that we've now got 3 kings in waiting, essentially, haven't we? But with people living longer, you know, Prince Charles still hasn't taken over at the moment. They could all be waiting a rather long time before they take the throne.
Well, this is it, that this child may not be 70 till he comes to the throne, so many of us will not be here, sadly, to see that day. And that's something what we've got with this longevity, because what always happens in history is that the younger the monarch is when they come to the throne, the more popular they are. Victoria was 18, our own Queen Elizabeth was 26. That's partly because we love the glamour of youth, and also because they've had less time to make mistakes, especially political mistakes. And they often, the older they are, the less popular they are. And what we've got at the moment are these 3 heirs waiting, as you were saying in earlier. The only time we've had that before is during the end of Queen Victoria's reign, and it's almost as if we're all sitting here waiting, and what's not going to happen. Certainly we know, and like Queen Victoria, Queen Elizabeth is very healthy, which she probably will be on the throne for the next 10 or 15 years, and Charles has got a long time to wait, and certainly has Prince Cambridge.
Thank you. Well, whoever it is, they are born to reign over us, which is not the sort of rain we've been having today. It's very hot, it's very humid, and Isabel will put you in the picture.